Hello guys, welcome back. I'm Sethonan, this is the Daily Grind, this is DC Legends. And this is the newbie account again. So I'm noticing that I didn't plan ahead very well and I don't have enough energy, so I will have to buy a pack. And also, well, I keep leveling up. I can't help myself from leveling up. So I'm gonna burn a PvP point. And some discussion that is going right now, it's going on right now on the forums, is alliance points, and how the game keeps you from doing well on the alliance stuff. And really, you shouldn't be worrying about it. As you know, or if you have been following the channel for some time, my content is geared towards free low beat players. That means that most of my content is going to be centered about not spending money in the game. The strategies I present, if you have missed the disclaimers, sorry, the strategies that I present are centered around the fact that I don't spend money in the game and just how far can you go without spending money and without having access to the preferred meta characters inside the game. That means that you're not going to see me playing with Starfire, with Batgirl, with Atrocitus, with Brainiac, because I didn't get him. I'm kind of regretting not unlocking Wally West Flash, but any day now, in the coming months, he's probably going to get either PvP weeks or a heroic challenge, so I can work towards getting his shards that way. And also, you won't be seeing me accruing a lot of gold, because I spend most of my gold buying gear. I run the material events, the ring events, and when it's a character that I enjoy playing with or it's a favorite of mine, I will play his heroic challenge until I get them to the legendary level that I feel will help my strategy. So that those are my recommendations. This is not for everybody. I see Kage is catching a lot of flack, because he comes off as a little bit condescending sometimes. But his content is geared towards people who actually spend money and are trying to maximize results with the least amount of money. If you want to follow his advice, or if you follow the stuff he posts, that's top 100 stuff. You're not going to see that in my channel because I have never competed for a top 100 spot, and this team I'm going to have to just let go. It's pointless for just 5 blue beetle shards. So whatever. So, maybe I can win. I don't know. No, definitely not. Yeah, not going to happen. But you see, I'm going against my ceiling in this fight because it's a geared out level 40 something team that has better gear than mine. So when you run into that, just refresh, reset the board, and start again. Go for the easy fights. I know it sounds lame, but whatever. So yeah, Isikage is catching a lot of flack for doing some stuff a certain way. Um, but his content is geared towards someone else. The We Are Legends guys, most of them spend money or have spent uh, inordinate amounts of money in the game to get their characters to do the stuff they like. I'm not against spending. I just feel, and I reiterate in this video, that I just feel that there's no value in the offerings for this game. Like, you have to spend $100 to bring a single character to Legendary 1. I feel that's not a good price point. But I digress again. So that's the thing. So what or who is my content aimed at? The free player that has started recently, and recently for this game can be up to a year. Several of the current meta tunes were released during monthly events, so they were technically free to get a Legendary 2, Legendary 3 character, or even Legendary 5 if you pushed for that. I don't advise to new players to go for Legendary 5 even with Rebirth, because that's much of an investment in gold and time, and it actually sets you back. If you try to get every character to Legendary 5 month after month, you are going to start running behind on gold and essence and XP agents, and it's just not worth it. I feel that that school of thought that developed in the community of going to Legendary 5 and try to stay low gear just so you can actually afford several of the characters is what is getting these newbies in trouble. Why? Because if you choose to stay at just gear 8 for the entire run of your player career in this game, you are just limiting yourself, and in a bad way. There is no advantage except getting easier fights, and it hasn't been made clear exactly that the real way to gain the PvP scoring system is to go to gear level 70 and gear 10.5 with meta tunes. The players that are abusing the system are doing exactly just that. They get the meta tunes that you see consistently ranked as the most useful tunes in the game. They go to level 70, gear 10.5, because you save a lot of money in gold and essence by just gearing half of your team or your whole team to half, and you get a lot of points from winning 1-star battles. That's what they are not telling. They are not really specifying that, yes, you have to go high gear, level 70, but not full gear. And you cannot take Yellow Sinestro to 10.5 and do well. That's just not going to happen. Not impossible. Well, I said I wasn't going to use my legendary tune because somebody else claimed that you can't do well on PvP if you don't have legendary tunes, and that getting gear is way too hard and blah blah blah. Well, so I decided to retake this account that I had abandoned for over 4 months or something like that, only playing sporadically to see if this thing still holds up, if my old videos from last year for tackling the material events are still relevant, and they are still, with the small changes. I have to do an update because they reworked Doomsday in between, and now the physical challenge is way harder than it was. The strategy is the same though, but if you want to get your material level 3, you are going to have to gear up and rank up hardly quite vexing to do that, because you're going to get more shards of fur than of Mad Jester. And this PvP I'm doing is just to give me a time buffer to get my 27 fights, to get my rings. Now, I reiterate, the strategy for new players should be focus first on building a power base. You are going to build that power base by grinding red alerts every day. It doesn't matter if you don't see the characters listed there in the metatoons category, because none of those characters are truly meta except Swamp Thing. You need those characters because they are a reliable amount of shards per month. In a couple of months, you are going to get your first rank 5. Oh, I should have taken a green here, but I'm not paying attention. Sorry. And you have to work first on building 12 characters, 4 of each color, 4 physical, 4 mystical, 4 energy, to tackle the material events. Once you are able to consistently farm material 3 from the node 4 in all material events, then you start worrying about getting the characters that you actually want. And this video, aside from PvP, just to show that with free characters I started playing this month, I got my Marvel Jr. I managed to score some shards for Mary Marvel, so I geared them up, because for a newbie this is inexpensive. Like, they are not ideal tunes. I don't have Satana at any working capability in my main account because I don't like Satana. I feel Satana is useless. And once you get Swamp Thing, you have better healing, and if you get a Star Sapphire, you have better healing with those characters than using Satana. I feel personally, it's my opinion, that Satana is a waste of resources. I finished the entire story mode on my main account without ever gearing Satana beyond 2. Oops. That's what you get for bringing blues to our no-red fight. But the dangerous one is this guy here. So it's not ideal, but it works. It's still working. 340 shards. I mean, for a new player who has started this game and is under 6 months, getting to top 5k on PvP is phenomenal. And it's super easy, and I don't have enough legendary characters, so I couldn't play the showdown arena in the legendary portion. But look, I'm top 3k, so that's 100 shards, and it looks like I will be able to maintain this. Yeah. And this is with just gear 8 on optimal non-legendary characters. So please don't tell me that it's impossible for a newbie to thrive, because that's simply not true. Have you seen my Essence account? 9 million. And it's going to keep growing as I keep playing this. I'm going to run this for the Jay Garrick event. So I'm working on, I think I already did this. Yeah. And I just want to check how prepared is this account for this event. Oh, I already did 2 nodes. So what was my team here? Well, it's actually the same team I did for my main account, only with well, less level and less skills. So pretty much any newbie should be able to tackle this event, at least on the normal side. And this was something I commented on the other video, that if you're just starting out, let's say this account has been played for 4 months, let's be more generous, 4 months, but it has been on and off, so I have been missing on gold, I have been missing on shards for the monthly characters because I don't log in every month. My characters and my essence number, my gears that I have stored, because I'm stopping at some pieces of gear 8. I don't fully gear the characters right now because that's the strategy. I want to keep red alerts as easy as possible for the longest time possible until I start amassing legendary characters. And they could be from the monthly event, or from the red alerts, or even from the heroic nodes. So in reality, this account has been played for little more than 2 months non-efficiently. What you are seeing on the screen right now, if you're a new player, this is me being, or it could be you, playing non-efficiently. That is, I'm not trying to maximize the number of shards, because I don't compete on every PvP week. I'm missing several hundreds of shards for many characters because I didn't play the PvP weeks. I am missing heroic challenges, I am missing monthly tombs, I'm missing sieges. So my roster is not what it really should be. I should have around 30 to 40 characters unlocked to at least rank 4, and I should already have at least 4 legendary characters, legendary 1, and maybe a couple of legendary 2 characters. For the starter, Sword I was able, or I was capable during his month to take him to legendary 2, but I didn't because this is not an account I want to keep playing. But this coming Jay Garrick event, I'm going to go the distance. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember the data correctly, there's already math done on this. And it's been posted several times. You don't even have to run the whole event to end up with a legendary 3 character. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 5th node. And I feel this is shorter somehow. Oh. Well, but I already have Firestorm unlocked. So that's another character. And in another of my alternate accounts, I have several because I have done this several times over. Oh, it's not unlocking. Does it go back? Tap to unlock. Ah, there you go. Firestorm. Now, I know I won't be able to finish this event with a newbie account today because several of my characters are missing, but I just want to show you because people treat leveling to 40 like it's super expensive. But if you use Colored Agent, look, 143k. So that's half my price for 30 heroics today. And let's see just how far can I take him. There's my legendary, my daily and my legendary mission for the day. There you go, full gear 2 already shaping up. And if you ask me, why would you invest money? Because that's your alternate account, right? So it doesn't count, you don't care. Half of the reason is that it doesn't really change anything for me, but it's an option. If Firestorm is eligible for any of the new monthly tunes, or if he gets a heroic challenge down the road, I will be able to take him to legendary. And I think it's like 180 shards from the normal event. So if I get him to rank 4, that's enough for me. That's enough for this account. You see, that's less than 200k, and you make that in one day when you have a newbie account. So now I'm going to buy energy because it's convenient for me, not because you really need to. You can pretty much be self-sustaining even if you make your own alliance. You can be self-sustaining pretty quickly and start amassing alliances. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, I've already done this. Cool. So I'm only 22 shards away from my Marvel Junior Legendary 1, so I will have 2 legendary characters. And Marvel Junior is eligible for the Jay Garrick event, so I can use him. And so is Bane. Bane is almost legendary. Hal Jordan is also going to be available for next month. So those are my my options. So let's see what the rewards are for today red alerts. Chemo, oh, Star Sapphire. Yes, rank 4 Star Sapphire. So I want to get that. And Harley Bexin, who is also eligible for next month. So there you go, there you have it. I'm gonna grind this, but that's going to be a separate video. So uh, let's suppose that I didn't buy any energy. When you are a low level player, up until you are level 50, you will be leveling up almost every day. In fact, when you are a low level account, when you are a new player, you have to actually stop playing sometimes. After you finish your 30 heroics, if you are close to level up, or if you have already completed the 50 missions for the day, then you should stop playing altogether until the next reset. Why? Because then you will be wasting your energy refills. When you max out your account, you run out of energy refills. And those are part of the strategy too. In one of my older videos, if you go check the playlist that says Newbie something, I talk about this. And I already shown this account how it started from beginning to getting the nodes for the material events, node 4 of the material events, so you can actually start gearing people up. And that's where I stopped the videos for this account, because it had already fulfilled its purpose. But now that I'm being called on stuff because some people didn't see them or didn't see my older post because they are now 2 years old and need some sort of a strategy without spending money, I'm kind of forced to do this. But ideally, you will start right at the reset. That for me, currently it's 7 p.m. and when the time changes for daylight savings, it goes back to 6 p.m. So let's suppose it's right after reset. I should have 100 energy points. 103, yeah, 103 points now. So I start doing this. If it's a PvE day and I'm a low level account, I will try to run all the heroic challenges with the highest amount of points I have the team designed for, or the characters unlocked for. So that's going to be, since I have 103 energy, they give me 25 when I start for using the Void Collector and running one challenge event or one heroic challenge. So I will have enough energy to do all the heroics on chapter 1. And that's what I usually do with a newbie account. I prefer to Speed Force when it's PvP day. And this is only for low level accounts. I consider anything that is level 60 and below to be low level, because you cannot even go to gear 10. And then afterwards, I wait until 11 or 12 p.m. because I can't do that because of my job, and spend the rest of the energy running heroic 3 chapters. So it's usually just 3 or 5 heroics. Then, because it's only 103 energy, it takes around 8 hours to fill again completely. So the first thing in the morning, after having breakfast and brushing my teeth and getting ready to work, I come back here to this screen and farm whatever characters I'm interested in. And I get that's 96 points for 9 additional nodes. So since this is a newbie account, I will go for Hal Jordan, since he gets 2 nodes in this chapter. Until I run out of energy. And then later in the day, you have to check the Alliance store to see if there is extra energy for sale, and if you see any of the packages on the Alliance shop, you buy that energy and you come do whatever node you have to do to unlock your characters. And at around 11 a.m. or 12 o'clock, midday, noon, however you say that in your country, you run the remaining missions that you have left until you fulfill 30. You don't go for the 50 energy unless you level up. If you level up 100 energy, once you have 100 energy, you just run 20 chapter 1 nodes in normal to get as many green rings as you can, because as a newbie, green rings are going to be a bottleneck. So by the time you do this, or by the time you finish that, I'm just going to run a red alert to finish my normal missions. I'm starting to get hard teams. You just choose the team that is easier for you, the easiest. Doesn't matter, sometimes it's this. So I said that I wasn't going to use Soth because reasons. So we go like this. Sustain team. That is free characters. Oops. Don't miss, don't miss. Yes. Ooh, they're going deep. And goodbye, Satana. Well, it doesn't matter. Star Sapphire will take her place later on this run. Come on. There you go. Ah. And also, as a newbie, you have to finish your red alerts. Get your team to the point where you can consistently and reliably finish red alerts every day. More because so I only need 7 missions now. Alright. Because of this legendary mission, collect 53 hero fragments. And not for the legendary essence, but for the green rings. So you can finish with 6 green rings every day and 4 blue rings every day. And I'm just going to show you my rings. You see, I already have 120 stored, and that number is going to keep growing a bit every day. So there's that. Well, I'm just gonna run most of these. This is 5. I'm going to run that later. I already did this. And tomorrow, just because tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to finish gearing my Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel to 8, because both characters are eligible for Jay Garrick, so I need them at gear 8. I'm going to be spending some gold, and I'm going to try to tackle this node and this node. Just I should still be able to do that. That's 23 shards, and 2 and 2, that's 4, 27. That's more than enough for legendary 1. And I don't remember how many you get at node 6 of the boss. But I don't have enough time for a legendary 2, because I'm really not going to finish this. But I will try for Jay Garrick, just so you can see that you don't actually need legendary characters to finish this. All you need is gear. And gearing a full character to gear 8 takes around 2,000 gold if you really have absolutely no rare gear for him, for that character. So maybe 2,000. And since both characters are, this one is 6 and Mary Marvel is 5? Oh, 3. Alright, yeah, she's gonna need the most work out of the 2. But that's completely doable within 1 day. So maybe between both of them it's going to be like 3k gold just to finish getting them up. And I will be ready for the next month event on day 1. This game is about preparing for the next batch of events until you have reliable teams. That is, you don't have to rush anymore to gear up a character that is necessary to finish the event. This is a theme that I keep reading about in the forums. What team did you use? How do you do this? How do you do that? It's not the team. Simply put, you're not going to get a bunch of legendary 4 characters without spending gold. And if you are a free player or you are a new player, since they don't give any kind of advance notice on what characters are going to be released on the shop beforehand, you pretty much have to bunch up on gold, on gems, and then wait to see until the very last minute if they are going to release them or not. And the only rule that has been consistent is that if there is a character that is actually helpful for the event that is a hard paywall, they are going to put him on sale after the event is finished. Like Mary Marvel Siege ended, then she got her $100 package for Legendary 1. People don't really know if she's a meta character, a meta worthy character, if she's average, if she's a poor character. People don't know because you cannot really form an opinion on the character in a single day. I have been exposed on the fact that Mary Marvel Basic at Gear 11 and with a ton of intelligence ups hits very hard. But at Gear 9, at Gear 8, Gear 9, and Gear 10, this is not the case. She has average damage, even if she has a ton of intelligence up on her. She's not very helpful, so you really want her for the meter down. You could even run her rank 4, this, and that will be enough. That will be enough for her because you want her for the meter down on her basic, not for the damage. I mean, yes, she can. She's been demonstrated to be able to one-shot certain greens when she has 5 intelligence ups or more. But that's something that something can do on both. Wonder Girl Cassie can do on both. Black Adam on both can also one-shot entire teams if they are green. So Mary Marvel is a very, very average character, given the power creep that the game has suffered. So I'm only giving her to 8 because I really need that meter down. And it's inexpensive. And she will be an asset in the future. Like, whenever she gets a heroic challenge, then I will maybe work on her Legendary 4 on my main account. So I'm pretty happy with having a Legendary 3 right now. No news have been made available for the next month, only the eligible list. It features a lot of free characters or farmable characters. A couple of them are meta characters. 2 of them are getting a rework, so it's very hard to form an opinion on will Hal Jordan and Flash be useful? They are useful right now. They are not meta. None of them are meta, but they are useful. So if you have them at high legendary, I will take a Legendary 4 or Legendary 4 Jordan or Legendary 4 Flash over a Legendary 2 Mary Marvel, for example, because both characters are more versatile. And you can at least use them reliably for the material events. And it's more likely than Flash and Hal Jordan are included in the eligible list for many future tunes. But for right now, you're going to get 2 months of heavy usage on Jordan and Flash. For the Jay Garrick event, they are going to be featured characters. They are going to get their the name escapes me. Their featured week, both will be 5 pointers for PvE and PvP. They are both powerhouses in both modes. I seriously doubt that they will be made worse than they are right now unless something really catastrophic happens. And I find it very well, both funny, refreshing, and it's uh, it's a nice Easter egg that the original Green Lantern and the original Flash are released from the Justice Society of America, and their Silver Age counterparts, Hal Jordan and Barry Allen, are the reworks, because that's a tradition in comics that Green Lantern and Flash are always the best friends of all the Justice League. So I find that very neat. So yeah, Jordan and Flash are going to see heavy use, heavy rotation, at least for May and June, because in June either Flash or Jordan are going to get a heroic challenge. So if you're missing shards for them, you can work on either one. One of them is going to be removed from the PvP packs, and I sincerely hope it's Jordan. And what else? Then on June, when they get the heroic challenge, there's going to be a siege for another character, and they perhaps will get a bonus point for the siege, since they are the rewards. The rewards get some bonuses in many game modes. So if you are on the fence about gearing either of them up, here's your chance, because it's a 2-month spread to work on them. Especially if you're not going to go gear 11 with either one, just soak it up, spend some gold, gear them to 9 or to 10 or 8, whatever it is you're parked at. I was parked, gear 11 launched, and I was parked at gear 10 for 4 or 5 months before PvP started to get really complicated for me. So I decided to make the jump. So I started saving gear, materials, essence, and legendary essence to bring my characters up to speed, and I haven't regretted that. It's made most of the content becomes super easy once you go to gear 11. But anyways, this video is again running too long, and before I bore you any further, I'm just gonna call it a day and start uploading. So there you go. You can thrive pretty easily as a new player, and you can do well both on PvP and PvE. So I thank you all for your time again. I will be making more content. I'm gonna give you a pause of around a week until the Jay Garrick event starts. A day previous to that, I'm going to give you my report on the Newbie account, so you see my stats going in, and I will be uploading my progress every day with the Newbie account for the Jay Garrick event. So see you next time. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment telling me how to improve this channel. We'll be seeing each other the next time, and in the meantime, keep grinding on.